this is the word that describes who I am, of all those hyphens?
I like to say visionary.
Love it.
Yeah, because I like to do things first, think outside of the box, think differently. And so, yeah, a visionary, that's a mama right now. You know, when I was a model, when I first started, I was very skinny, doing high fashion and looking all bitchy on the runway, you know, that look. And then my booty started getting bigger and bigger and thicker and thicker. And my mom was my manager, but not like, you know, not that momager telling me what to do, more of a protector. And my Italian modeling agency gave my mother a list of designers that did not want to hire me anymore because my booty was getting too big. And I started crying, and I'm like, well, Mama, I don't know what to do. What should I do? I don't know what to do. Should I diet? Should I exercise every day? Should I start like, you know, restricting food? And she says, no, you know what we're gonna do? And I said, what? And she says, we're gonna get some pizza. And so we went to a pizzeria in Milan, and you guys know, like at pizzerias, whether it's in Italy or America, how they have the tablecloth that's paper. My mama said, this is our notebook, pull out a pen. And we wrote down every single client that we could think of that likes ass, that appreciates some ass. And my mama's that kind of mama that tells it like it is.
Strategy.
So who likes ass?
Would have quit. I mean, really, I think they would have said, there's a lot of models who would have said this business either I should become anorexic.
Yes, or I should quit.
I should quit.
And we said, you know what, let's figure it out. Let's try to figure out how I can work with what I have to get what I want.
Hey folks, how's everyone doing? Today we're coming at you with another wee tale of celebrity money making and investment. This time we're going to be talking about supermodel Tyra Banks. I'm sure none of you need me to explain exactly who she is. We're not going to be touching so much on her stratospheric career in the industry. However, given that a lot of her investments reflect her particular set of skills and the things that she really cares about, we may be sort of touching back and talking about, elements of her life as a model, as well as an entrepreneur and investor. So, like usual, we've divided this up into 5 specific points, and I'll break them down for you, and away we go. Oh, before I forget, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to like and subscribe, especially if you like the video. Share it with your family and friends. I'm sure for even the most fanatically devoted Tyra fan, you're going to learn a few things. I certainly know I did, and I've watched my fair share of episodes of America's Next Top Model. Right, moving right along to point number 1. Fierce Capital. A fantastic name, and has sort of a few different meanings. But this is part of the Tyra Banks company, Fierce Capital LLC. And what's great about them is they're interested in developing and investing in early stage startups, specifically including female-focused businesses. And I am going to just read straight from the company description here because it's kind of too great. Including female-focused businesses that want to be on top. So the funding stage they're at is seed and early stage funding, and so far they've been dabbling in quite a few interesting little startups here, including The Hunt, which is a website designed to help shoppers find specific items to buy online, something that is never going to go out of fashion. It's quite interesting. It's not the first time actually that Banks has expressed interest in the tech startup community. She basically had mentioned, specifically talking to Beta Beat magazine, that she would have liked to have invested in startups like Uber and Airbnb when they first launched. Now, of course, the amount of the investment hasn't been disclosed, but the CEO of The Hunt, Tim Weingarten, has said that the money will go to improving functionality and user engagement. But The Hunt's not the only one. Fierce Capital is also invested in the Skim, Videogram, and the Muse, and ShopTap Industries. In the various funding rounds including Series C, Seed Rounds, Series A, and Series A. And to a grand total of, we're looking at something in the region of around the mid-20 lots of millions. There's also partner investments, Locket and Fixel Photos. So this is really, really interesting, just seeing how she's spreading it around. And of course, the big question is, how is she able to get involved in all these different ventures? Well, that brings us to step number 2, as a matter of fact, and that is frugality. Now, I know, especially when we're talking about one of the most beautiful people in the world, frugality is not a particularly sexy topic. But I think when it comes to Tyra Banks, it is absolutely appropriate. In fact, quoting here from Insider, she's so frugal that her accountants once told her to spend some damn money from her $90 million net worth. And that was a couple of years ago, when that particular net worth was counted. But it's really interesting, and I think this is a really valuable lesson. And part of the reason why I think when we're looking at celebrity investors, it's easy to get just kind of blown away with the glitz and the glamour, and that can really turn you off in learning something from how these people have achieved what they do. Sure, we're not all, wonderful actors or unreally gorgeous like Tyra Banks or George Clooney, but there are other qualities that I think have really helped them through life, and this is one when it comes to Tyra Banks. I mean, she says she's always been more interested in experience over things. Things didn't make her happy, so she saved and saved and saved. And this is something she actually learned from her mother. So even when she was given that rather blunt advice by her accountants, she still created an F account, which is for frivolous. But even then, that had a limit on spending. And Banks has reported on her early life, said that after her parents got divorced, she moved into a one-bedroom apartment with her mother and brother. And her mother, gave Banks and her brother the bedroom while she slept on the floor in the living room. So it's these lessons from an early age in, having great resolve, being clear-eyed about your situation and knowing that you're going to make it change. Banks's mum said to her, we're going to live here for 1 year and we're going to make this the most beautiful place in the world. But in a year, we're going to be moving into a 2-bedroom. And then they moved and got that 2-bedroom in a year. And then they move in there. This is our oasis, our paradise. But in 1 year, we're moving to a 3-bedroom. And lo and behold, in 1 year, that very thing happened. Tyra bought her first house at age 20. And again, she credits her mother with teaching her these essential money lessons. I'm going to spend a bit of time on this because, we can go all over the show talking about these amazing sort of different things she's invested. But I think the key thing, not so much the what, but it's the why. Another thing is, her money manager has been Tyra Banks' money manager, since she was 19 years old. So that's a few details on the ethics and quality that she brings to her rounds of investment. And in a way, nothing exemplifies that better than something like T-Zone, a foundation that she's founded that works towards developing teen girls' self-esteem and independence. It was founded in 2005, and its mission is to build a sisterhood movement among women and girls by raising funds and making grants to community-based non-profits that serve low-income, disadvantaged women. And of course, it's probably one of the best things about, and there are mixed bags sometimes, investment and philanthropy and all that sort of thing. But I think if you can give back and do so in a way that is shrewd and meaningful, then that's really key. Number 3, wide-ranging options. Now, it's not enough that we're talking about someone who is a supermodel and then just, decides to dabble in startups and make their money work for them. Tyra stays in the spotlight. She's obtained a little bit of education from one Harvard University and is currently, or at least in the process of, soon to be teaching a course at Stanford on creating and maintaining a personal brand, which in this day and age, for better or for worse, is probably something that almost everyone needs to at least have a decent understanding of. So she'll be instructing about 25 MBA students on how to use social and traditional media to communicate their strengths and how to endure the ups and downs of being a business leader. And of course, the overarching company of all this, or at least one of them, even above Fierce Capital, is Bankable Productions. And that's probably where she really brought her persona into everyone's living room in the entire world. We're looking at these television shows: America's Next Top Model, The Tyra Banks Show, Stylista, True Beauty, Fab Life, The Click, Fashion. So again, it's all about not putting all your eggs in one basket. Speaking of which, weird proverbs and the like, we're coming to the end of the video now, so I want to ask you guys, what advice did your parents give you about what to do with your money? Both the good and the bad. We learn sometimes positive and sometimes negative lessons from our parents. I know I certainly have. And also, if there was one company in the world that you wish you could have invested in, at the ground up from when it was in its really early days, what would that be? Anyhow, we'll say goodbye and talk to you again another time. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe this video. Stay safe out there, everyone. Take care. Bye for now.